Don't you just love autumn? I love it. I love the rustling of the leaves and just watching the leaves fall down from the trees. So yes, just thought I'd do a quick little check-in. What did I want to talk about? Oh yeah, kind of like the way that the world's going and everyone's blaming things on like immigration and stuff like that in Britain and lots of other countries, but specifically Britain. I just wanted to say that I feel like more of an issue, I think, is actually mental health and a lot of these things that are happening and the prisons being full and things like that. And I think there's a lot of people that should really be like in some kind of, I don't know, institution or something where they're getting really having a close eye on them, really, like, you know, there should be more care in the community, and they've got rid of a lot of that kind of thing, or it's just not good enough, you know. And there's a lot of people who are asking for help and actually finding it very difficult to get the help that they need because there's not enough money being put into that. And it's been going on for like, you know, probably over 5 years or more, where they've been shutting down a lot of places where, and that's why we're seeing, I think, a lot more homelessness as well, because a lot of the people on the streets, I'm seeing people on the streets a lot more in all of the cities, and I do think that a lot of those people actually have mental health issues. It's quite obvious. And so that's, I think, what's causing a lot of the problems more than anything, is that if they've got nowhere to go and they're not getting the help they need, then it will end up being a problem in the wider community where people are going to get hurt, and, you know, it's going to lead to all sorts of crime and violence and issues, which, you know, could be, some people might start to then blame it on things like immigration, and there might be an element of that, but I think anyone who really ends up hurting somebody has probably got some underlying mental health problem going on, and that is what needs to be dealt with, I think, first and foremost, before any of the other stuff, you know, because it's just getting to a point where it is quite dangerous, really, and sad to see, you know, when you do see, like I saw someone when I was just walking to the supermarket last night, quite about 8 o'clock, and it was just like he was just sleeping kind of along the side and making funny noises, and, you know, just obviously probably not quite right in the head as well, you know, without knowing how to kind of say it. And yeah, it's like there needs to be much more money ploughed into that more than anything else, I think. And there's a lot of young people as well, more than ever, for whatever reasons. Probably, you know, there's a lot of anxiety and people with all sorts of problems, partly due to lockdown as well, and all of that, and so many issues with young people that aren't being properly addressed because it's a lack of funding, and the list is so long to get help. And without those people getting the help early on, it's just going to cause more problems, more serious problems later down the line, which is, you know, what's already starting to happen. And I really think that that should be the key focus. You know, it's too easy to say it's because of, yeah, whatever, immigration, this and that, even though that is, I'm not saying that's not a problem, but I think when you see really horrible things happening and really violent things happening, it's more likely to do with mental health issues. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. And they should all be just brought to nature. Nature's the best therapy, and there should be more art therapy, more music therapy, much more range of things available to people when they go to the doctors, or when the parents go to the doctors, rather than just medication, because that should be an absolute last resort, I think. A lot of parents don't want the children on medication, and a lot of people themselves, don't want to be on medication. They want alternatives, and quite rightly they want alternatives, and that should be available. But obviously it's much easier to just give someone a box of pills and say, be on your way, that'll sort you out. But it usually doesn't. And and then who's going to make sure they're taking these tablets as well? So if there aren't carers, if there aren't people around to keep a close eye, then that's when a lot of problems happen. So that's my kind of take on things. So what do the trees think? They don't have these problems.